Can someone learn to read at the age of 62? If your answer is no, then this story will completely change your perspective. Hello everyone, this is your Anchal ma'am. Today we are going to talk about an inspiring story which is not just a chapter but a life lesson. Before starting the story, let's know a little about the author. The chapter is written by Sudha Murty, a famous Indian author, teacher, and philanthropist. Her stories are simple, but their impact is deep. And this story is also based on her real life experience. Now, the story begins with a small girl who lived in a village with her grandparents. At that time, the transport system was not very much developed, so people used to wait for the bus because it brought news, letters, and magazines. So, in those magazines, a story called Kashi Yatri was published by Kannada writer Triveni. This story, Kashi Yatri, was about an old woman whose dream was to go to Kashi, but she sacrifices her dream to help an orphan girl. It was a story full of sacrifice, emotions, and humanity. Now comes the real connection, the narrator's grandmother, Krishtaka. She could not read because she never got a chance to go to school. So every week, the narrator read the story to her. And the grandmother, she listened very carefully but slowly became emotionally connected to the characters of that story. Every week, she waited eagerly for the next part. But one day, everything changed. The narrator went to attend a wedding and stayed there for a few days. When she returned, she saw something very shocking. Her strong grandmother was crying. She was surprised because she had never seen her crying before. Then the grandmother shared a pain. When you were not here, beta, I could not read the next part of the story. At that moment, she realized how dependent she was on others. She felt embarrassed to ask someone else to read for her. And this moment changed her life. She made a powerful decision. I will learn to read. At the age of 62, not just learn, she decided that by the Shehra, she would read on her own. At first, the narrator laughed at her, but the grandmother said, for learning, there is no age limit. And from here, the real transformation begins. The narrator became her teacher, and the grandmother became a perfect student. With daily practice, dedication, and strong determination, she proved that age is just a number. Then comes the most emotional moment, the day of the Shehra. The grandmother touched the narrator's feet because now she was not just her granddaughter but also her teacher. This movement showed not just respect but also the true value of education. Finally, the grandmother was able to read the title Kashi Yatri by herself. There was happiness in her eyes and pride in the narrator's heart. She passed with flying colors. Now let's talk about the message of the story, everybody. The main message is learning has no age limit. This story teaches us education gives independence. Self respect is very important. With determination, anything is possible. The bond between teacher and student is priceless. And most importantly, if you have the desire to learn, nothing in the world can stop you. So, this was a simple story with a powerful life lesson. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And remember, learning never stops. See you in the next video with a full detailed explanation. Till then, bye bye. Keep studying.